He was friends with one of my best friends, and I asked him, not because I knew him, just because he knew one of my friends, just to give me and my friend a ride to a local cafe just to get studying done because it was finals week of my sophomore year. So it was the end of the day. I really didn't know him, and my friend's like, oh, I got a softball meeting. I'll meet you guys over there. So I was like, oh gosh, like this is gonna be so awkward. So me and him start walking through the school, and we were just talking. Everything was just so normal, and that was like the weirdest part about it. Was like, it was so normal. I was 15, and it was like, nothing's ever normal when you're 15. Talking to a boy is never normal. Whenever I had a boyfriend in middle school, it was like, okay, now I'm not gonna talk to you for a couple months. I'm just gonna go text you after school. So it was so weird. Like, and I remember walking into the cafe, going and sitting down, ordering my coffee or whatever, and just sitting there, and it was like, I wonder if he feels the same way that I feel, because I just like had like, however cliche it sounds, like I had like these butterflies. It was just like, I felt so weird that I had this interaction that wasn't weird. And I just remember thinking like, I wonder if he noticed that, or if that's just like, maybe this is normal, like maybe it's what it's supposed to be like. When I first started dating him, or like when we first started hanging out, it was the summer in between my freshman and my sophomore year. I was just like, oh my gosh, like this is like my whole world. I was in that phase where it was like, this is all that matters. And it was so interesting, and it was so fun, and it was all I wanted to do. All I wanted to do was just hang out with him and go do new stuff with him, go somewhere nice, and just be a couple. Go out to eat with him or go hang out with friends with him. It was just all I wanted. But now I'm like at the point where it's like, he is so important to me, but what's important to him is also important to me, and what's important to me has to be important to him. Our time with our friends, our time away from each other, that's something now that I value so much that I didn't in the first couple months, so I've definitely changed in that way. I think a lot of people look at us differently. It's kind of like people are like waiting for something bad to happen between us. Like we dealt a lot with people who were jealous in high school and just wanted to create drama with it and started rumors about it. So that was just really frustrating. Like it was like we first started dating, everyone was like, oh wow, I would have never picked you guys to be together, and everyone was being rude about us being together because it wasn't what they thought. And then it kind of became normal. And then after, like in my junior year and his senior year, people were just kind of like getting like resentful about it. Because we had fun, like it was fun. We had like just like the perfect high school thing going on in front of people, but it was like just between me and him, it was something completely different. We were just so goofy together, and we were genuinely just special for each other. It doesn't feel like it's that big of a deal sometimes, and then I like realize that we're just in this constant routine of just FaceTiming, and it's like, I used to spend every single day with you, and it just like, it's never the same. And then I'll get like nervous when I go home, because it's like I feel like I'm different, and I'll be afraid that it's not, like I've just been so long without being a girlfriend. Like I don't know how to be a girlfriend anymore almost. And I'm talking over FaceTime just makes you feel like you're friends sometimes, even though that's definitely not how I feel. It kind of makes me nervous going home, definitely. Just the first one was probably the first time that he told me that he loved me. I was a sophomore in high school, and he had a home football game, and they were playing a good team. His team wasn't the best, and they just barely lost. And he was the quarterback, so after the game, he just felt like the whole loss was his fault. He was just like, last one out of the locker room, which was like normal, sitting in his truck after, and he just started crying. And it was like, we just started dating kind of like during that summer, so it was like, I didn't really see that side of him yet. And he was just crying, and I just kept telling him, like, it's okay, it's not your fault. Like, you were the best, like, you did the best you could. Everybody did the best they could. You can't put that on yourself. And just tried to, like, relieve him of it. And one of his friends always has, like, all the football players and their girlfriends at his house to watch the football highlights for the night. So that was, like, what we always did after home games. We went to his house, he got showered, we were getting ready to leave, and I was just like laying on the couch, getting ready to go, kind of napping because I was tired. And he just comes and lays on the couch with me, and he starts crying again. And he was just looking at me, and he's like, I love you. And then I started crying. I said, I want to say it back, but I can't. And I was like, I'm too scared. And he just hugged me and he said, that's okay, you don't have to. And then we both cried for a little bit, and then I told him that I loved him. I'm Maddie, I'm 18 years old, and I'm in love.